Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Bobby. Guys, let's watch some Tommy Robinson. I want to laugh today. He is still in Israel and he went to a Christian church telling you the truth about Christianity and why it's under attack. It's really amazing to see how desperately Tommy Robinson wants to be a Christian, because let's face it, he's against Islam because he's working for Israel, so he cannot become a Muslim. However, a Jew he cannot be either. So what is left? Cling on to nationalism, cling on to Christianity, which comes in the package of nationalism, and therefore he tries to be a Christian. So now he enters the church and tells you why Christianity is under attack, why it is the truth, yada yada yada, without even believing it himself. He is exactly the same like his buddy AP, who doesn't believe in Christianity either, but had to adopt it in order to work for his Zionist bosses. It is always the same spiel, guys. Anyways, before we jump into the video, guys, if you enjoy my content, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the links in the description box below to further support my work. Thank you very much for that. And now, with no further ado, let's have a look.
We're in Nazareth, which is the birthplace and the home of Jesus' mother, Mary. We're now about to enter what is described as one of the most fabulous and beautiful churches, and it's the largest church in the state of Israel.
It's a beautiful design, very interesting. Oh yeah, nice architecture. It's well made.
Told us that these are Chinese Christians. Obviously, the communist Chinese government hate Christianity, but since Israel got close with China, he said there's literally hundreds of thousands of Chinese flying in here, finding their religion, and at least being able to be free to express their religion. There's something very special.
Oh yeah, that is absolutely amazing. So a lot of Chinese are flying into Israel, and there they're absolutely free to express their religion, you say? Huh.
Elohim love Israel. Praise God. God love Israel. Medal hatchino Milano. And it's Ummah. It's all speak. Smell.
Your brother name of Yeshua, right?
Whoa, whoa.
He slapped my face.
Wow.
He slapped my face.
Jewish people. Talking. Jewish people, you really breaking my heart.
As you just saw in the clip, obviously that is not true at all, not true whatsoever, quite the opposite. You're not allowed to practice Christianity freely in the outside. Christians and Christian churches are tolerated in Israel because of their bond with the United States. So therefore that image is being preserved. However, try preaching, try evangelizing outside in Israel. Good luck, Tommy, let's go.
There's something very special about how Christianity brings everyone together. I think that's what we've lost. And there's something special standing in these historic places and these churches. It gives you an amazing feeling. Look at the architecture, look at all of it, and the history. You can see the different layers downstairs as you look in. That church is from the Crusades. But there's definitely, I'd advise anyone who's searching for their religion, searching for their faith, searching for identity, or just cares about history or what's built Western civilization, where we've come from, what gave us the values, what created the best civilization the world has ever seen.
Best.
Come here, experience it, see it.
This is so absolutely incoherent, man. See what created Western civilization, go to the Middle East. Yeah, absolutely, Tommy, that makes sense. Because before Christianity, the West didn't build anything, right? The Roman Empire didn't flourish at all before Christianity. Just look into history, man. The Roman Empire was built, expanded tremendously before Christianity. After Christianity, it tapered down tremendously. So Western civilization was already pre-existent to Christianity. There was a Western civilization, a great Western civilization, you might add. So Christianity most definitely did not build the West. But moreover, yet again, where does your religion come from? It comes from the Middle East. But then you're attacking those Middle Eastern religions, such as Islam. They literally come from the same place, you absolute hypocrite. And a little side note, when he talks about the beautiful architecture, come into this church, see the history, you can clearly see that all of this is brand new. Highly likely, if it is a Chinese church, it has been designed by Chinese engineers, by Chinese architects. Those guys are absolutely amazing. Look into China and how they developed over the past 10, 20, 30 years. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Their trains, now next their planes, their buildings, etc., you name it. They are pioneering every single field in technology. So therefore, this here is not some sort of historical remnants of back in the day. No, this is a brand new mega church. Tommy, man. Come on, dude.
As I currently walk through the Muslim quarter of Jerusalem.
Oh no.
We've come on this trip, as we do with all of our journalism, we have no large donors, contrary to the nonsense you hear.
Come on, bro.
We struggle with our work. Imagine the work and content we could provide.
This post gave you $7,000, man. Come on, bro.
And
As if we don't know.
If we could grow our team, if we could become an even bigger media empire, if you want to support our work, if you value the work we do, the work we
I want
do
to join.
The other side of the story, the mainstream
Yeah, the other side. Can I join as well? I want to contribute to the other side.
media don't tell you. The truth.
Get me
on
in.
the ground, on the streets, in
Come
the
on, Tommy.
towns, in the cities, in the UK, in different countries. Next we go to Poland. We've got lots of content. I need to get my next documentary done. If you've watched any of our work, it
Of course.
can't be done without you. We are
Me.
by the people, for the people. That's who I work for you. Yeah?
Thank you.
Make it possible. If you've donated, I want to say thank you already. If you
Thank
haven't
you.
donated and you
Thank
want
you.
to
Thank
support
you.
our work, please do. We
Amazing.
need your support.
You need
you
more
can
money.
do so at supporttr.com.
Tommy needs your money to do more blow. Let's go, Tommy. This is so insane, really. If you're a bystander and you haven't looked into this and you don't really understand how they are funded by Israel and why they always team up with Israel, why they're supportive of Israel, then you don't really know what is going on, right? But once you know, you know. There are no Judeo-Christian values. What are you talking about? Even if you look into the terminology, Judeo-Christian values, when did that term get created? It was in the 1930s, so still pretty recently, just 100 years ago. Christianity and Judaism were around for many thousand years prior to that. However, that terminology was popularized by liberal Protestants for Jewish converts to Christianity. So they were building a gateway, a segue, if you will, into Christianity for Jews. And this is why they talked about Judeo-Christian values. However, historically, if you look into Judeo-Christian affairs, relations, you cannot really speak about shared values. You cannot really speak about a friendship here either. From the get-go, there was a schism in Judaism, and from that, Christianity sprung forth. There was a conflict from the get-go, of course. The Jews denied Christ, and they deny him to this very day. Moreover, we don't have to get into the Talmud. And Tommy, you know about all of this. Jews do not respect Christians whatsoever. They actually respect Muslims much more when it comes down to faith, when it comes down to religion, because they do admit that Muslims are monotheists. When it comes down to Christianity, Jews see Christians as absolute heretics, as idolaters. And if you look into the Torah, what has to happen to the idolater, I let you do the work here. And all of this is fun and games until you really look behind the curtain and then you see the dark truth. What is really going on here? Think about it logically, man. The West is still under Christianity. As I said already, the biggest expansion in the West happened not under Christianity, but their pagan religions. Later, when they adopted Christianity, the Roman Empire wasn't expanding as much any longer. Christianity became the Roman state religion in order to control their peasants. The church had ultimate control. This is how America started as well, because the Church of England still had control over England, and then the Americans set themselves free of it and created this new liberal nation, if you will. And so now in this ever-competing race of ideologies to the future, the question is, of course, what is the right ideology to adapt here? When we're talking about China, for example, he mentioned China, he mentioned communism. I'm not a friend of communism either. I'm not a friend of a godless society. However, we have to say that China is humongously successful, man. They're really doing amazing. I, of course, would wish for China to become a godly nation and not an atheist nation as they are right now, because I believe that this will bite us in the back in the long run. Right now, they're absolutely pioneering weapons, technology of all sorts, AI. But once they have the mega power and yeah, they're still atheists, this could be dangerous for the rest of the world. Anyways, as for right now, they're really doing well. Now, if we look into Muslim nations, the ones that haven't been bombarded by the West and absolutely decimated, but the ones that are actually able to progress, absolutely phenomenal. Yet again, look into Qatar, look into Saudi Arabia, look into the Emirates. It is amazing. You're talking about the first world. Yeah, well, that is the first world. It is absolutely phenomenal how those Arab Muslim nations are progressing. There is nothing like it worldwide right now. They are pioneering everything. It is phenomenal. And now, before we get into Western Christian nations, let's speak about Orthodox Christian nations, especially one Orthodox Christian nation, which is Russia. Russia, however, has true religious freedom and a symbiosis of Orthodox Christianity and Islam, a true friendship there, because we have Muslim macronations, micronations, call them what you will, within Russia, such as Dagestan or Chechnya, for example. Moreover, you have strict blasphemy laws in Russia as well. Putin made sure that blasphemy is not on the menu. This is not free speech any longer. It is not allowed in Russia, no matter who you speak against. No matter if you speak against Christianity, or if you speak against Judaism, or if you speak against Islam. None of it is tolerated in Russia. So such a nation with stricter religious ruling is very successful as well. Russia is a mega power, absolutely amazing. But now we come to the Western nations. And let's be honest, man, the Western nations are falling everywhere, be it in Europe, be it Australia, be it America, all fallen nations, absolutely terrible. And now we actually come to the point that I want to make here. It took me a bit. Now, when we look at Tommy, what is the solution that he's offering there? He's telling you, well, all of your Western Christian nations, they fell. And now return to Christianity. That will save you, because this is what built our great nations. No, this is not what built your great nation. This was already the beginning of the decline. Honestly, if you look into any great leader of Western nations, they always critique Christianity as well, because of the meekness of Christianity, because of the feebleness of Christianity, because of the incoherence of Christianity. And matter of fact, the biggest Western superpower, which is America, was not built on Christianity, but was built by the founding fathers that were deists of sorts. So those were not pure Christians either. As I said already, they escaped the Church of England. And this is what I mean when I say pull back the curtain and you're going to see the dark truth. Because here you have the Zioshil Tommy, who's working for Israel, and is telling you guys, you know what? Just stick to your idolatry. Just stick to the Trinity, worship Jesus, worship a man, and you're going to be successful, guys. And the Muslims, they are evil. So he is working for the Zionists, which, if nothing else, are still monotheists, man. At least they're not worshiping anything besides God, which is the greatest sin, of course. So they are atrocious in the things that they've done, especially to the people of Gaza. We don't have to speak about it over and over again. You already know. However, at least they're still monotheists. And now he's working for them. He becomes a lapdog and tells his own people, listen, guys, just remain idolaters. Yeah, just worship the Trinity, worship Mother Mary, worship Jesus, and your nations will be prosperous, guys. Absolutely, God will bless you for it, that you worship something besides God. This is really what is going on here. The birthright of every human being is Islam. We've been born upon the fitra, we've been born with the innate predisposition to worship God alone. We are inherently monotheists, and a healthy nation is monotheistic. If you remove monotheism, I claim that you will inherit the wrath of God. This is why in the Quran we read that God will only accept Islam of you. But in the truest sense of the word, Islam means submission to God alone. So God will only accept your submission to Him. He won't accept it if you submit to something else. But this is what Tommy is calling you to. He is calling you to idolatry. He's calling you to heresy. He's calling you to worship your skin. He's calling you to worship your tradition. He's calling you to worship your nation. He's calling you away from the worship of God. Good luck with that, Tommy. You will fail like all the other people failed before you. Because you're a hypocrite anyways. You don't even believe in God. You simply look for a system that you can adopt next to your nationalism. That is all. Just like the neocons, you're not looking for real truth. No, of course not, because truth hurts. Truth hurts. You are looking for a system that you can just run by your nationalism. Religion light, if you will. Oh, well, yeah, we have our traditions, guys. Here, the Christmas tree. Yeah, Eastern. Whatever. This is what you're looking for. You look for something that can bind people together. But you are trying to bind people together under falsehood, not truth. If you were really interested in truth, then you would understand what Islam is. Islam is the pure worship of God, pure monotheism, the correct morals, the correct ethics, everything you can find within Islam. You're talking about the best civilizations. How is the West the best civilization, man? Look, it fall apart in real life. Degenerate values. Your daughters open up OnlyFans. It is repulsive, man. Running around on social media naked. Alcohol, drugs, rampant, suicide rates out of whack. It is falling apart because it's false. Falsehood will perish. It is bound to perish. The Quran states. And you will see this, man. Anyways, keep on calling to falsehood, Tommy. We're going to keep on calling to truth. In the end, we both will be returned to our Lord. And then you will face the ultimate truth and you will see what you have done in this lifetime. Alright guys, but this is it for today's video. If you liked it, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the links in the description box below to further support my work. Thank you very much for that, and as always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.
يا نفس إن لم تظفري لا تجزعي